Over the last few years, a massive migration of foreign direct investment has reshaped Southeast Asia. As global supply chains diversify away from a single point of failure, one country has emerged as the clear favorite to absorb the overflow. A major reason for this migration is simple geography. If you trace the path from China's manufacturing powerhouse in Guangdong to northern Vietnam's Haiphong port, the distance is incredibly short, just 722 kilometers. The government has accelerated this geographic advantage by aggressively tearing down trade barriers. By locking into major free trade agreements like the CPTPP and the European Union Pact, the country has essentially opened a tariff-free highway to the world's largest consumer markets. Take extreme geographic proximity, combine it with preferential trade access, and add a competitive labor force. The math suggests an unstoppable economic engine, poised to become the world's next great factory floor. And on the surface, the physical infrastructure notches that ambition. Down in the south, the Kai Mep Deepwater Port Complex boasts an annual bulk handling capacity that dwarfs its regional peers in Thailand. Yet this outward projection of strength hides a severe internal friction. Despite record-breaking export volumes flowing through these world-class ports, actually moving a product out of a local factory and onto a ship is shockingly expensive. This chart compares national logistics costs as a share of GDP. Here, Vietnam operates at a heavy 15 to 16%. Compare that to Thailand at roughly 13.5%, and it becomes clear there's a steep premium attached to operating here. This margin acts as a massive hidden tax levied directly on the manufacturing sector. It is a systemic inefficiency that threatens to completely eat away the cost advantages of that highly competitive workforce. The root of this premium isn't a total absence of infrastructure. Rather, it is a problem of coordination and systemic bottlenecks on the ground. The physical network suffers from a severe multimodal disconnect. Road, rail, and sea transport operate in silos, creating friction, long delays, and mounting transshipment costs every time cargo has to change from a truck to a train or a barge. And the delays often start before the goods even hit the highway. Upstream physical constraints, like power shortages and grid congestion inside the industrial zones, frequently stall production and logistics operations at the source. Compounding this strain is an explosive domestic e-commerce market. The demand for near-instantaneous intra-city deliveries has forced the creation of chaotic, high-density micro-fulfillment networks that place even more pressure on local roads. A nation can build a state-of-the-art deep-water port at its edge, but if the internal nervous system connecting the factories to that port is congested, fragmented, and out of sync, the entire supply chain slows down. This physical fragmentation is mirrored in the corporate landscape. The recent e-commerce boom triggered a massive surge of new domestic logistics companies entering the market, but it is a lopsided reality. These local firms are overwhelmingly small, undercapitalized, and relegated to the low-margin, basic tasks of domestic transport and last-mile delivery. Meanwhile, the high-value, highly profitable sectors, like global supply chain management and ocean shipping, are almost entirely controlled by massive foreign multinationals. Because the domestic fleet lacks scale, imports of foreign logistics services consistently outpace exports by a widening margin. By 2024, this transportation deficit reached $7.1 billion. Next to timely deficits in tourism and insurance, logistics is the nation's largest financial drain. The end result is a highly efficient wealth transfer. The local workforce physically manufactures the goods, but foreign corporations extract the lucrative logistical profits required to ship them. In the regional battlefield, multinational investors prioritize long-term supply chain resilience over a simple hunt for the lowest hourly wages, and neighboring competitors are adapting. Isn't resolved, these neighbors are perfectly positioned to poach the most valuable foreign direct investment. Looking ahead, the pressure is only going to intensify. The global market is rapidly moving toward mandatory green logistics, demanding stringent carbon footprint tracking for every product shipped. Remaining competitive will require the integration of zero-carbon transport and real-time AI-driven route optimization, complex data systems that a fragmented, siloed network will struggle to support. Advanced automation and massive robotic sorting centers are transitioning from high-end luxuries to absolute baseline requirements for maintaining regional logistics supremacy. To win the next decade, the nation must transform into a highly synchronized engine for moving goods. The era of competing solely on assembly costs is over. Ultimately, the victor in Southeast Asia will be the country that builds the smartest freight network.